Well, goodness crumbs, welcome back to the Thrive 5 Daily Mobility Series. Day 21 is halfway through this 6-week program, and if you've been following along, I hope you feel fantastic, better than ever, and proving yourself that you can show up, no matter how crazy life gets, with these wonderful little doses of movement that you are progressing with. Holy moly, could you ask for more? With that being said, we are going through a specialist session today. That is looking at the wrists. Now, one of the main reasons we're focusing on the wrists is because that's often the junction, could we say, between connecting you to the ground especially, but indeed surfaces that we may be interacting with when doing our favorite sports or training or jumping into a class and doing push-ups and burpees, and we end up not feeling so good there simply because, again, we explore quite shallow ranges of movement with our everyday life, depending on what it is that you do in your everyday life. That being said, we ignore that, and then suddenly we ask it to go there with our body weight on top of it. So no wonder it's not going to feel so great. So the tools that we're going to be exploring today are both rotations, like we did in the ankle session or the shoulder session. If you've done those with me, rotations are just a fantastic way of maintaining the health of that joint, getting movement and blood flow and fluid to that joint. But then we're also going to be going into a PAILS and rails sequence, looking at improving that wrist extension so that you can get safely into those positions over time as you open up this range of motion. So couple of caveats for today. Never work through any pain, okay, even in the rotations or when finding our stretch and contraction position in this wrist flexed extended position, If you feel any pain, any sharp pain in that joint, back away and find your best pain-free range of motion or intensity when it comes to doing any contractions or any range of motion, okay? I hope that makes sense. It's just never work through pain. It doesn't help us out, okay? Just go through, meet yourself where you're at with your current range of motion. With that being said, I'd love us to jump into our rotations, 45 seconds per side. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be holding on to my arm so that it doesn't rotate. Very easy for the whole arm to go with you. All right, we just want that wrist joint to be working. I'm going to try and keep my hand dead straight. It's very easy to want to move the fingers throughout this, okay? And just think we're going to turn left in towards the body, then bring it back around, and then we get back to the start. I'm going to go the other way, similar to a lot of these rotations, okay? I want you to work as hard as you can, increasing the intensity with each passing rep, to really work the edges of that joint, okay? Let's have a play there and let's learn while doing. 45 seconds coming on the clock here, and let's go for it. I'm gonna extend away, rotate towards the inside of the body, and then back towards me, around the edges. Notice how those fingers might wanna flex, as we're way harder than you think. And then back to the start, and then I'm gonna send it the other way. I'm gonna work a little bit harder here, already getting pretty hot. Surprisingly challenging, these rotations, as I'm sure you appreciate by now if you've joined me before. Come on, fingers, behave. As we come up here, final rotation more than likely. Let's work as hard as we can. It feels strange. We might not have as much movement as we thought we did. That's okay. Back to the start. Dink. And that's going to do our 45. Lovely. We're going to do the same on the other side. Grip that arm and rock and roll again. Like the ankles, if you did with me especially, you might hear a little snap, crackle, and pop. That's also pretty normal. Again, as long as it doesn't hurt. If these feel easy, please join me in working a little harder. So I'm not the only one sweating while simply waving my hand around. Oh, buddy. Coming up to the end here as we finish. Lovely. So now we're going to jump into our PAILS and rails. Now, general sequence of PAILS and rails is we spend 2 minutes, okay? Sometimes more, sometimes less, but 2 minutes is a good ballpark in your passive end range position. Okay, what this means is we're just gonna find a stretch that doesn't hurt, but that we feel, okay? Just as far as we can take that position. All right, and we're gonna hang out there, in this case for 90 seconds. Okay, like I said, you can do more, you can do less, but just for the sake of demonstration today, we're gonna do 90 seconds. That will serve us fairly well. So I'm gonna be in this base position with my fingers forward, and I'm simply gonna rock forward until I find that stretch. We're gonna hang out there for 90 seconds, and then whilst we're in that stretch, I'll explain what we're doing so I don't waste any more of your time here. Okay, so please join me there. You might have to adjust your position. Make sure you're nice and comfortable because we are gonna be hanging out there and that your elbows don't bend. I'm gonna start our stretch window there. Okay, and for me, that's about there. That feels good. And I'm going to explain what we're doing here. So once I get to that 90 seconds, similar to the ankle session if you join me there, but I will explain again here, we're going to begin a series of PAILS and rails contractions. Okay, so first comes the PAILS, the progressive angular isometric loading. Okay, very catchy. We're going to ramp up there. What that means is we're going to take our intensity from 0 to 100 across 5 seconds, okay, in 20% chunks per second. What I mean by that, all right, is I'm going to begin pressing away. So it's like I'm trying to press the ground away with the top of my palm, okay, basically trying to flex the hand away, even though it's not going anywhere because the floor is in the way. I'm going to start with 20%, and then 40, then 60, then 80 towards my best, okay? The reason we do that is so you don't go from 0 to 100% intensity, which can be injurious potentially. So we're gonna build ourselves up there. Then we hold it for 10 full seconds, and then we're gonna, excuse me, we're gonna go the other way where I'm gonna imagine pulling my knuckles towards my forearm there and touching them. Again, it's isometric, so it means I'm not going anywhere, but I am pulling my knuckles in the other direction. Before I was pushing them away, then I'm gonna be pulling them towards me. All right, all my jibber jabber has got us pretty much there towards that 90 seconds. So why don't we do this first one together, okay? Start pressing the underside of your palm at the top away for 20% intensity here. Notice I'm not going anywhere, but I can really feel that tension. Build it up to 40%, a little more, to 60, a little more, to 80. And now everything you can safely, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go the other way. Pull the knuckles towards you rather than pressing them away. Pull them towards you without moving. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now see, you might have some more range of movement, just a couple of degrees. I want you to sink into that. If you absolutely had to come out and take a break, because this is a little intense and you're not used to it, that's fine. But I'm gonna hang out here just another 20 seconds and we're gonna perform one more set and then we'll park it there for today. All right, oftentimes you can do these anywhere from 2 to 4 sets. Okay, it varies case by case, but we're doing 2 just so you get a good feel for things. Alrighty. Generally, we just want to recover in between contractions here, depending on the part of the body you're working and the intensity. It might take more or less time to recover. So I want us to start doing that one more time. Start pressing down, 20% intensity on the underside of the knuckles. 40%, 60%, 80%. Everything we got here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then pull the knuckles towards you for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently come on out of it. Oh, you ever seen Deadpool with the broken hands? Okay, again, little intense beyond just your usual everyday stretching, but way more potent and progressive, okay? That is definitely gonna be looking to open up the strength of that joint in that extended position so that for the most part, any of those floor-based activities that challenge that wrist position should start to feel a little bit better. I'm gonna leave my sentimentals there because I can't wait to kick off week 4 with you, day 22 tomorrow. We're gonna be continuing to build on those lower body efforts. I hope you're feeling good. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch up with you in the comment section below if there's anything you would like to discuss. See you tomorrow.